In this week's edition of WTHS, we meet a teacher who has recently written a children's book. With Christmas right around the corner, the collision repair class fixed up bikes to give to kids this Christmas.
But that's all over.
Welcome back to another episode of WTHS News. I'm Anna Grant Kahlstorf. Teachers do more than just teach. Mr. Michael James enjoys reading, traveling, and building wooden boats. Scarlett introduces us to teacher and author Mr. James.
Mr. James is a science teacher here at THS that has been teaching now for 3.5 years. During this time, he has written and published a children's book called Anna Kate and the River Kite, a random gamp adventure.
It's just in this first book, he helps a little girl get to where she goes because she misses her boat. It's Anna Kate and the River Kite, and she misses her boat, but he helps her to get where she needs to go in a magical kind of way.
Mr. James has a daughter and a son who inspired him to write this book.
It was just a story for them. You know, it's a poem, it's a story for them, but it was just something to read to them, you know, at night.
Creating a book is not an easy task. It involves writing, illustrating, and advertising, which Mr. James further explains.
It just set up an idea of what I wanted to do and write the story. But the illustration part and getting it illustrated and turning it into a book has taken us about, me and my illustrator, 7 or 8 months. I've self-published it, so I'm publishing it on Amazon and Ingram Spark.
Mr. James has put a lot of hard work into this book, so be sure to check it out and support him. I'm Scarlett Von Strahl, WTHS News.
Thanks, Scarlett. Mr. James is an inspiration to many. Speaking of inspiration, it is so exciting to see students giving back. Our collision repair class is finding ways to give back to the community during this holiday season. Mr. Derek Bradley and his students are taking old bicycles and refurbishing them for children. The bikes will be given away on December 15th here at Tupelo High School. These students will be making Christmas very special for the kids receiving the bikes. On another note, cheer competed at state this past weekend. Aaliyah gives us an update.
Hey, I'm Aaliyah Cooper. Welcome back to this week's edition of Sports Media. Before we begin, let's give a moment of silence for Coach Mike Leach. We mourn over the loss of Mississippi State head football coach and send prayers to his loved ones. Our fall season has finally came to an end, but don't worry because our spring sports are ready to shine. On Tuesday, December 6th, basketball played against Center Hill in the Golden Wave Dome. Saturday, the Lady Wave played against Pontotoc in the Tangle on the Trail versus Vicksburg and won. Tupelo 68, Gulfport 49. Michaela Riley was named MVP of the game. The boys and girls soccer team played home against Saltillo on the 6th. This past weekend, the boys and girls traveled down to Jackson playing against Northwest Rankin and Madison Central. The boys lost to Northwest Rankin 2-1 and lost against Madison Central 4-1. The Lady Wave, however, tied Northwest Rankin 1-1 and beat Madison Central 1-0. Last Saturday, our Tupelo cheer team traveled to Jackson, Mississippi to compete in their state competition. We get to hear from the coach herself, who tells us how she adjusted to being a head coach.
It was quite the adjustment. Thankfully, I had a little bit of a grace period last semester, so when I jumped in January, I got to kind of get my feet wet. And so this year, I've kind of played off of that, just had to figure out how to balance everything that I have going on with being a teacher and being a coach. But I have a great group of cheerleaders and an awesome assistant coach in Christine, so it hasn't been all on me, which just makes it easier.
Cheer has changed from this year to last year. 2 of our seniors give us an insight of how the competition has changed for them.
It's a different feeling. It's definitely something that you just have to experience in that moment. You don't experience that moment anywhere else. It's different when you know you give it your all.
I'm expecting to do really well, maybe win it, because this team's worked really hard all these past couple months. It's getting the routine in August, and I feel like when we get it, we're gonna win.
Morgan Brown, a sophomore, explains how she felt competing for the first time.
I felt pretty good. I was nervous to try out for cheer at first because I was a shy person, but I've come out of my shell.
Congratulations to our cheer team for scoring a 91. We can't wait to see what they do next. Let's give a big shout out to Zay, also known as Kool-Aid. He was given a chance to play in the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Game in Mobile. Coming up this weekend, Fred Adams will play in a Blackwell football game to represent Tupelo High School. Shelby has more.
Fred Adams is a senior defensive back on the Golden Wave football team. He served as one of the team captains and helped lead the team to an undefeated regular season this year. He showed his skills on the field by ending the season with 6 interceptions, 24 pass breakups, and 30 solo tackles. Along with his teammates, he's a MHSAA recipient making second-team defense. Fred will also have the honor to travel to play in the Blackwell All-Star Football Classic.
I feel like this honor is really rewarding to me. It's something I've worked hard for my whole life, and I feel real rewarded by having this honor to play in this All-Star game.
There truly isn't a great player without a great coach behind him. Fred believes that this season was so successful due to the Golden Wave coaching staff.
He's a great leader, probably one of the biggest leaders on our team. His character is amazing, great kid, great family, one of the kids I truly love. He's going to do great things in life.
Fred credits a lot of his success off the field and on the field to his dad, Frederick Adams Sr. He said his motivation and his love for the game comes from his dad coaching him as a kid and even to this day.
Very excited. I am so happy for him. He worked so hard, worked so diligent. He lived, breathed, and sleep sports, and so it's a great opportunity for him to play on another level. And I'm so excited for him for all the hard work, and I definitely told him that he'll do great.
Fred says his goal for the season this year was simple.
Making history for our school, honestly, going in, doing something that hasn't been done here in a very long time.
Once again, congratulations to Fred Adams on making the Blackwell All-Star team. We'll have more updates on who he decides to play for on the collegiate level. I'm Shelby Spain, WTHS Sports Media.
Thanks, Shelby. Well, that's all we have for this week's sports, but don't worry, we'll be back next year. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I'm Leah Cooper, WTHS Sports Media.
Thanks, Aaliyah. With the semester coming to a close, many sports and activities have come to an end, but some are just beginning. Rebecca gives us an inside look at Synergy's upcoming season.
With after-school practices every Tuesday and Thursday and late-night rehearsals during choreography week, many hours went into working on Synergy's competition show. Synergy is Tupelo's competition show choir group of 44 girls. These singer-dancers perform a 20-minute show at 3 different competitions. During February and March, they will travel to Jackson Academy, Madison Central, and Nashville to compete against other groups. The director, Danielle Ratliff, says that they have been working on making the choreography in the show as precise and together as possible.
We learned everything a couple of weeks ago when our choreographer Nick came down, and so we're kind of taking all of the songs apart, and we are going to just make sure that everything is absolutely perfect before we try to put some more performance things with it.
Last year, Synergy won their division at every competition they went to, ending the season undefeated.
This year has been pretty different from last in a lot of really good ways. We had such a successful season that I think we have a little bit more confidence coming into this year, and we already know kind of the stakes that are at hand.
Andrea Brohan and Riley Mulrooney are sharing the main role in this year's show. Riley describes some of the challenges of playing her character.
One of the challenges I had was trying out for the role because I've never tried out for a solo before, and this is the first time I've ever sang in front of anyone or my peers.
Andrea explains what her favorite part of competition season is.
Just getting to spend time with all of the Synergy girls, and it's really just a bonding experience for all of us, and getting to do that together, it's really the best part of the group.
It's so inspiring to see the hard work and preparation that Synergy has put into their show. I'm Rebecca Johnston with WTHS News.
Thanks, Rebecca. That's all we have for now. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a Merry Christmas.